Hey guys, so today I'm going to explain you how the ancient Greece worked. So ancient Greece they were too advanced. So they settled by rivers and seas so that they can do farming over there, they can catch fishes and they can do trading by the seas. And so that means that it would be it's good for them if they settle near the river or seas. So the ancient Greece uh, was controlled by a king or a family or rich people. So those rich peoples control them. So the Greek people traded on Mediterranean and Black Sea, and they did trading with China, and they get precious stones from them, and they also get silk and ebony, that's hardback wood, and spices, and also elephants. So as the trade increased in Greece, it became a very wealthy empire, and they began to create coastal settlements, which were called colonies, and after some time there was 1500 colonies through the Mediterranean Sea to Black Sea. So the Greek period from 500 to 400 BC, which was called Golden or Classical Age. So during the Classical Age, the Athens were the richest, and the Sparta was the second. So Athens were they who did trading, and they did businesses, and they got education, and they also did so many other things, etc. And they were also kings. So Sparta was not too much rich, and they don't have great temples or buildings. So they were just soldiers who fought for saving their country and empire from the other empires, and they were good at fighting. So the Athens were quite different. They also did crafts. So they were they were brilliant. And in 461 BC, a brilliant young man, his name was Perseus, he became the leader of Athens. He wanted to make it the greatest city. So he rebuilt the temples that the Persians had destroyed, and he also painted the statues into gold, blue, red, and green. So they conquered. The greatest temple was Parathon, and because it was so important, so it was made of solid, fine white marble. Other buildings were made of cheaper stone and painted white to look like marble. So it was the Greek art and poetry was too good. They were master in art of painting human bodies because they know how the muscles work. So they make the statues of heroes, gods, and politicians and writers and thinkers, or also ordinary people, and they make them like it's real. And they also make pots and other things. So Greek believes in gods, too much gods. So the most important one was Zeus, which was the which was the god for sky and thunder. So other were also which were for seas and the goddess of love and beauty. And the Greeks believed that gold helped them winning the wars and give them happiness. So they they built temples for them in which they put us gold and they put horses which were killed for them, and they slaughtered them for them so that they are happy with them. So the Olympic Games began in the before the classical age, and they started in Olympia, which was in the southern Greece. So they played, they played four games. So the first one was the 180-meter race, then the throwing the javelin, with the long jump and wrestling. They also did chariot races. So so the game were ended in 394 but restarted in 1896. But they have continued till the World War II and till the 20th century. So the Greek were the first people to write, play, and have permanent theaters. They uses masks which tell that how the actor is feeling happy, sad, and angry. So that's how they make. And they just have three or four actors. And if the men don't like a play, so they throw stones and fruits. So the fruits they throw too much fruits that the person can open a fruit stall. So so each actor played more than one role or more than two roles. So the, there was a man who was Alexander, and let me first tell you some Greek philosophers. So the first one was the Aristotle, which suggested that the Earth is around the sun, and the other people think that the sun moves around the Earth. So, and he also tell that the world was circle, and the other said that the Earth was flat. So after 2000 years, so these things were proved, and the Archimedes made a discovery when he sat in the bath, which is Eucria, when he when the king gave him the gold, that he checked that his his he gave his gold, so that if it is fully made of gold, so if when he was taking a bath, so when he jumped into the tub of water, so the water grew up. So he put the kings, kings, the kings, the kings, the kings. That was the kings. That was the king's crown inside it. And when he put it inside it, so it was it was like it. And when he also put the gold of that quantity, and if they both come at this, the word come both at the same point, so he tells that it's of pure gold, else it is not. And the argument is also made, and the Pythagoras also did find the Pythagoras theorem, which was also made founded in Greek. And so Hippocrates was the most famous Greek doctor. He 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 writes the data, and his too much things are used in also today's world. So the many doctors they also follow his what he does. So when Alexander the Great, who who was taught by Aristotle, so his father said, which was the king of Macedonia, tell that can you Aristotle parents were died, and he teaches the Alexander the Great, so who was the prince, and he learned many subjects, including biology, zoology, and also poetry, physics, and physiology. He was the first person to realize the types of animals and plants. So, as Athens gained the power and wealth, so they tried to get other countries, conquer the countries, and they did. And after that, the Alexander the Great, when was 12 years, his father gave him a horse, which was had a large head, so he called it Bucephalus, which means ox head. So they then Alexander did conquer many things, and after that, Alexander was called military genius. And when he was going to conquer areas, so on the other side of the river, there were waiting elephants and too much other things for him. So these soldiers doesn't obey his order, and his soldiers does go wanted to go back. So Alexander, when was going back, so his army is, does get too much. He was like his army was weakened because of the attacks, and he doesn't have food. So when Alexander was going to reach his home, so he was ill, and he was dead. He was dead at in Egypt, and he was he was dead, and after that he was called say Alexander the Great, and he could get so many things. And when he he did, he did too much things, but when he was died, so his emperors, which were the chiefs, so they fighted to that fought that who would control their control their the land, their things. So they fought, and so that's why the Alexanders. So when his empire divided into three parts, so the Egypt was ruled by Ptolemy, so and the Macedonia was ruled by Antigonid, and the Syria, Mesopotamia, and the Indus Valley region of the Persian Empire was ruled by Seleucus. So, but his empire was lasted for a short time, but Alexander the Great has been remembered for all time. So now the the things that the Alexander the Great used were also like his style of temples are also used now. So that's why its empire is too famous. And I would explain you the Alexander the Great and of the Empire of Meridians in the next video. Until then, keep learning and keep practicing.